Okay, I'm going to get started. Today I want to explain a little bit about how to get your business off the ground, particularly if your business focuses on component level logic board repair. So there are going to be a number of obstacles you're going to have to overcome before you get decent work in. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to buy microscope, soldering iron, and hot air station, and it's all just going to come in. It doesn't work like that. There are numerous steps you need to take to be able to get your business off the ground and to get work in. So the first thing, of course, is going to be equipment. Now, when you're starting, you don't often have that much money. I get that. So it's hard for me to say, well, you have to go get an Amscope SM series. You have to get a Quick 861DW. So I'm going to show you some alternatives. When I started, I had some cheap little USB microscope and Hako FX888D and some cheap hot air station. However, the cheap hot air station couldn't solder anything on a MacBook Logic board, so what I'm going to do is go over some equipment. So, firstly, with a microscope, if you can, get a Amscope. I mean, even if it is the cheap SE400, it is better than nothing. With the digital microscope, if you wanted good image quality, you get 1 frame a second. If you wanted fast image quality, or fast frames, you couldn't tell where a resistor started on the board or where a resistor ended. It just looked like a big mess. So if you can get a Amscope SE400 or something like that, just with decent image quality. I remember on my first logic board, I realized, you know what, I can't do this with this microscope, but I made it work. I changed the current sensing resistors in the ISL circuit, changed the ISL, it worked, and I used that money to buy an SE400, which is Amscope's entry-level microscope. So, what I'm going to do is go over some equipment here. Let's go over to display capture. So, this is the first microscope right here. This is an Amscope SE400. It is about 200 bucks. I believe it has, I don't know if they have a 220 volt option, but this is yeah, they do. So this is available in 110 volt and 220 volt. That's just for the light. Of course, if you couldn't get one or the other, you can make it work. I mean, figure out a way to create light under this. It's not that hard. What this has, the eyepieces are replaceable on this. You get 10x or 20x. The 20x eyepieces look like keyholes, which is no good. However, if you remove the eye cups on it, the 20x is okay. This will get the job done at the end of the day. The image quality is decent. It's not the best by any means. However, it will get you from point A to point B. The 10x is where you're going to be doing most of your work. You can make, fix several hundred boards with this and then upgrade to the new one. So this, I would highly suggest you buy this over one of the cheap digital microscopes. The digital microscopes are garbage. I don't recommend them. If you have 200 bucks to spend, get this. You will, believe me, you will use this and you'll make way better use out of this compared to a cheap digital microscope. So, if you have a lot more money to spend, I recommend going with this one. This is the microscope that you see in my videos and that I use. This is 7 to 45x adjustable zoom. It does a very good job. This one doesn't come with a ring light. However, the ring lights are cheap. I'm sure you can get those in 220 volt and 110. This microscope is excellent. The image quality is great, has good zoom, and this will do the job. It also has the camera port, which is simulfocal, so you can see through both eyepieces and the camera at the same time if you ever want to record videos. It's around 438. This went up. When I started this, I got this one for 375, so that did go up. If you don't want to do videos, you can get away with a binocular one or just a regular trinocular like this. The trinocular doesn't have, so if you use the camera port, you can only see through one eyepiece at a time. If you're not going to do videos, this is fine. And this is just the regular binocular one. So, hot air stations. So for the hot air station, I tried to use one of the blower and fan handles, and that was garbage. You cannot use one of these for MacBook Logic board repair. You will frustrate yourself. the airflow is not enough, the temperature is not stable enough, it will just end up backfiring on you. You won't want to use it. It's just no good. So there's no picture on here obviously, but this is the Quick 861DW. If Lewis ever fixes his store, then you can get this in 110 and 220 volt. This is by far the best station in my opinion out there right now. It's a little bit under $300, and this thing works good. With that being said, if you can't afford it, there is an alternative. Of course, the Quick looks like this. Many of you guys know what it looks like. If you truly can't afford that, this is the lowest I recommend you get. Do not get anything cheaper than this. This is decent. Well, I've never used it. I want to get one and test it. But knowing Quick products, this will be pretty decent. It has good airflow. It should have good temperature. 580 watts is usually enough. It might take a little bit longer than the Quick. But for the most part, this is a decent, from what I've heard, station. It's $100. I believe it's in 220 volt, maybe 110. If you can't find one in 220, they don't have it listed here. Just Google Quick 957D, and you should be able to find this. This interface I kind of like because I don't like my buttons on here. I like knobs, so I kind of like that. I wish they made an 861 with just 2 knobs on it. That would be nice. But this one's $100. So now on to soldering. Let me check chat real quick. Still 2 watching. That's unusual. Probably notifications didn't go out as usual. So soldering iron. This is the 951. This is a decent iron. This is what I use. It takes the T15 cartridge tips, and also the this can use a FM 2032 micro pencil with the T30 series tips. The good thing about these stations is the thermal recovery. The thermal recovery on these is much better compared to one of the ones with the sleeve over tips. Let's see if I can find a picture of the tip. If not, what I'll do. So the T30 station, this is what the tip looks like for the Hacko. This whole thing is the heating element, so if your heating element ever dies, it's just in the tip and not in the iron or in the handle. So that kind of makes it easier and extends the life a little bit. So this is one thing to look at. I think this is worth the money, but if with one of these cheap off-brand Chinese stations, they're really not going to do the job. Most of those don't even have a thermal sensor. What those do is they just have pre-mapped profiles in it where if you set it at this temperature, it knows to put this much power in, and it thinks it's at that temperature when it really doesn't even have a sensor for that. So once the heating element wears out, you'll find you'll have to keep turning the temperature up, and it still won't be getting hot enough. So this is the cheapest iron I recommend you get. This is the Hacko FX888D. For the most part, this will be okay for you. Fix a few hundred boards for it. It's $100, and then buy one of these or one of the FM 203s or 202s or whatever. But this one is what I started with. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best iron. If you use a really small tip, you'll notice it getting stuck on big ground planes. But for the most part, this will get the job done at the end of the day. And it should be all you need to get started. For a DC bench power supply, it's a very useful tool. I remember when I got my second board in, I did not have one and I had a short, so what I had to use is a 9-volt battery. Soldered wires to PP bus G3 hot from the 9-volt battery, and you have a few seconds to figure out what's getting hot before the battery dies. So I recommend you get a power supply. This one right here is what I use. It's not bad. It does the job. It's a reasonable price. It's right around $100. It's 5 amps. Do not go below 5 amps. At 3 amps, you're not really going to get much of anything getting hot, especially if you don't have thermal. If you have thermal, 3 amps is fine, but for the most part, you want to ram 5 amps in there and see what explodes. So this one, I don't know if they have this in 220. I think it's only in 110. But the thing is just find one that's 30 volts, 5 amps, and you'll be fine. And also, you want one that you could disable overcurrent protection on. Where was I? So, ultrasonic cleaners. Don't waste time with something like this. I mean, you're pretty much gonna have no luck with it. You're gonna end up breaking boards with it. It's just gonna be, it's not gonna work. Um, Trust me, I've come from experience. I bought these. It gives the impression that you're cleaning it, but it's really not getting under these chips. So my ultrasonic I use is this one right here. It's a Sharper Tech. It works really well. Has a very robust sweep profile in it. I think this is a great cleaner. Um, I've actually done a review against the Crest, and this works great. This is only available on 120 volts though, so if you're not in the US, try and save up for a Crest right here. It's expensive, I know, but it will get the job done. With the cheap ultrasonic cleaners, they really don't. When you get the design of their tanks are often very bad, so that the ultrasonic waves don't propagate through the fluid as well compared to one of the more expensive cleaners. And that's one of the main things. You could have, a 1200 watt cleaner or whatever, but if the tank design is just poor and the waves can't get through the water, then it's not going to work, and that's one of the main problems on the cheap cleaners. So, this Crest, I believe, is available in 220 and 120. There should just do research on them. Get a good ultrasonic. Don't get a cheap one. Chances are, if you're getting a $100 one, it's not going to work right. It's just going to be junk. So that should be what you need to get started doing logic board repairs. So the next question is, what now? Once you've started, give me one second here. Making sure this thing isn't streaming twice like it was yesterday. Nope, only once. So, once you get started, this leaves another issue. So, where do you go to get boards? You can put up business Facebook page, you can put up Google business page, you can put up a website. However, no one will come to you. At least that was my experience. When your website traffic is low, when you have no reviews, there's no one to speak for you, end users generally aren't going to come to you. That's my experience. Even if you're the best repair shop in town, if you don't have reviews or if you don't have anyone coming through you through word of mouth, then nothing will come in. You need that. So oftentimes, if you present yourself well, go into a computer repair store, explain what you do. You're going to get some that are not going to take you seriously, and that's okay. Ignore them, prove them wrong in your business, and in a year or whatever, show them that you can prevail over them. But go into computer repair stores, explain to them what you do, get good business cards made or whatever. Present yourself well, tell them this is what you do, this is about what our prices cost, give your lowest price and your highest price, explain that this is for certain models or whatever, and see where it goes. Sometimes if you have a workbench set up, show them a picture, take a picture on your phone, show them this is where we do our work, and if you're, most likely you will get some repairs from these places. Now when you get these repairs, what a lot of people say is, well, I need to practice more and I need to do this. Yes and no. So should you just buy all this equipment, then go do that, and then get a board and replace their SMC? No. What I would do is, you don't need to go buying broken junk on eBay and fixing it. That's kind of a waste of money when you're starting. What I would do is go on eBay, buy a few donor boards, practice soldering on them, get it to the point where you won't mess the board up soldering. Then after that, learn the circuits, get the schematics, whatever, learn, watch some other videos, learn how to, learn about the circuits, learn how to solder, and then you can start working on customers' devices. Of course, be careful when you're taking stuff apart. Don't screw stuff up. It's not really that hard. You know, if I could disassemble a MacBook without screwing it up, anybody can. And then you could start. You know, see if one of the repair shops sends you a MacBook, diagnose the problem and fix it. You know, mess around with troubleshooting a little bit, bring it back fixed. Make sure it's clean. Don't leave fingerprints on it. You know, wipe it down really good. Make sure it's clean and presentable. Have a good service report printed out of what you did and how you, not necessarily how you did it, but just what you did, what you changed, and bring it back. And most likely they are going to use you again. And if they know other shops in the area, they will tell those shops, you know, hey, this person is fixing ports. Here's their info, and you'll probably get more work in. So this, though, will not last forever. When you start getting more and more repairs in, the local shops tend to turn a little bit bitter towards you. At least that's what's happened out here, is they will stop outsourcing to you and they may just turn their customer away or whatever, because some of these shops have a mentality that you're going to steal all of their business and they don't want to do anything to help you. So by this point, usually though, you will have enough local customers built up or mail in. Like for example here, it's all mail in. So what I did was started my website. First thing I did, which is really stupid, is put board repair listings on eBay. Do not do that. It is a waste of time. You're going to attract nothing but trash customers, and it's just not. You'll end up wasting your time, and it'll backfire on you, really, because on eBay, most of the customers you're going to get are just terrible. They're going to be ones looking for discounts, and that's another thing with eBay. The customers you'll get through eBay are going to be ones that are going to send you messages and say, can you do better on this? Your competitor is charging this much. And no, you can't do better because you need to stand firm in your value. So don't even try what I did. Go straight to the website. I know Wix has a free e-commerce solution. Set up your online store for logic board repair and then start doing work for shops everywhere. As far as advertising, don't go blowing money on Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, whatever. It just doesn't work. What I would do is just get your SEO set good for logic board repair, and then you should be fine. And most of the stuff will just fall into place. You'll notice more stuff coming in, more shops outsourcing to you, and then you should be good. Eventually you'll get your website built up a little bit more. Like an example on mine, have to redo it though a little bit, but stuff will just start happening as you get better. It will just start falling into place, if you know what I mean. And then in a couple of years, you know, who knows, maybe you'll have a store. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. If there's anyone in chat that has questions, put them in chat right now so I can answer them, and I'll stick around for a few minutes. But that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. Because I know when I was starting, there was a few things that weren't really covered on existing videos, so that's why I shared my experience. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on my website. I need to come up with a better way. Website is looking fresh. Yeah, the online store though I don't like, and I'm getting rid of that because generally the only customers that prepay are ones that mess with it prior, or ones that just that will have some really nonsense issue, like, well, sometimes it won't turn on and sometimes it won't do this, and just nonsense. So I'm getting rid of that, and it's all going to be through Repair Shopper now. Some people will want to prepay, but I'm not too keen on that. So, alright, I think that's it for today. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of repairs to do. I have to fix my website and handle some other things. So I will see you in the next video.